Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators of our practice, and I'd like to share with you this beautiful sentiment of metta. It was painted by one of our Sangha members. His name is Sean C., and it's the infinity sign and the word hope. And on the back, the sentiment of loving kindness I've written is, "May peace be with me. May peace be with me." And that's something that you can return to over and over and over again throughout your practice for the next 20 minutes or so. I'd like to begin our meditation and our reflection by simply dropping into the body. And with a friendly spirit and a curious gaze, just scan the body. See how this clay temple is doing in this moment. Is there any fatigue? Any inflammation? Any ache or soreness, any strain in the body? And if you notice as you move around, you don't have to scan your body in any particular order, head to toe, toe to head, start in the middle. It really doesn't matter. Trust your body and trust your intuitive knowing of how to scan your own body. And as you're wandering around, if you stumble into any area of the body that feels the least little bit off, pause and breathe. And breathe in such a way that when you inhale, you're breathing in an awareness. I'm aware of my body. And breathe out some ease. And don't forget the intention of this evening's practice. May peace be with me. And just allow that to settle in. And as the breath begins to slow down, and as the body begins to calm down, as the nervous system begins to regulate, may peace be with me. Friends, for the month of June in the Spokane Sangha, we have been exploring the Noble Eightfold Path. We've been focused on specifically the first 4 of the key wisdom concepts that define the Noble Eightfold Path. And for anyone who's new and may not be familiar. In the traditional sense, it begins with wise intention, followed by wise understanding. We may have an intention to be peaceful, be open and spacious, but we may not have enough understanding to be able to enact that intention. And these two wisdom concepts, one coming before the other, they really are interchangeable. They are that interconnected. Regardless of whether you want to begin with your understanding or your intention, both inform and strengthen one's actions, wise action. The Buddha taught that one of the most powerful and often overlooked actions is the way and manner of our speech. So the fourth concept on the Noble Eightfold Path is wise speech. It includes how you talk to yourself, how you talk to others, the tone, and it also includes your capacity to listen. We've also explored this month the reimagined first four concepts of the Noble Eightfold Path using different words, different language. And I bring them forward because this is what has been meaningful to my practice. So wise intention is partnered with be curious. Wise understanding is coupled with be spacious. Wise action goes with be real. And wise speech, interestingly enough, it helps me to remember to be patient. Already, that's a lot of information. That's a lot to contemplate and allow to roll around in the mind. And yet, we've taken this even deeper, and we have begun to explore how the Noble Eightfold Path, whether traditional or reimagined, can complement and aid the stages of change from a psychosocial point of view. And if you're not familiar with the stages of change, there are 6. And I'll just name them. Whenever we're about to change something, do something different, a behavior, a pattern, a habit energy, there are stages that we tend to go through, and they are, for the most part, quite linear. One stage leads into the other, leads into the other. And they mature as they go, and they take time. The stages of change begins with pre-contemplation. This is in the context of recovery when we kind of have a hint that something is awry. Maybe people are confronting us, but we don't want to hear it. We're defensive. We feel self-protective of our habit energy. So changing in the pre-contemplation stage is not on the table, even though its awareness is coming into light. In time, usually if it's a negative habit energy, more negative consequences come into the light, more awareness of misconduct, misdeeds, negative feelings, despair. They come into our awareness and we enter into a second stage, which is contemplation. We begin to think about it. And this may be the stage also where the habit that worked so well for so long doesn't work so well anymore. The contemplation stage is a very tender place. It is insecure and highly defensive, and this is a place for enormous care and advocacy and encouragement, because that leads to the next stage, which is readiness. And one of the hallmarks of readiness, in my experience, is a conflicted mind state. My intention is good and bad at the same time. I want things to be different and I don't want things to be different at the same time. I want help and I don't want anyone near me to know my stumbles. I want to let people in and I want to keep people out all the time. And so understanding in this stage is critical. And like the third wisdom concept of the Noble Eightfold Path, wise action, it's a stage of change, action. We do something different. We recognize our options. We explore options. We try on new things. And the fifth stage of change is maintenance. And this is where we just keep going, one day at a time, one moment at a time, up and down and in and out. We keep learning. We keep growing. The sixth stage is actually a stage that is sprinkled throughout the other five, and it is called recurrence. And this is a return to habit energy, sometimes for long periods of time, particularly if we've been exposed to recovery when we have not been ready. There are some people in the maintenance stage of change where they'll return to habit energy for all the reasons that people do. Recurrences, from a Buddhist point of view, are an opportunity to examine one's actions and to be real about it. And to go into curiosity and space in order to tap into our resources of understanding. Why did I return to that habit energy? What were the conditions? What was the trigger? What did I gain from it? What did I lose from it? What did I learn? And can I take that learning and use it as raw material for my growth and maturity? And it requires so much patience. And one of the key places that we can tap into, that we can look deeply, is how am I talking to myself? Am I calling myself a piece of shit? Am I calling myself an idiot? Am I shooting myself with second arrows? Am I seeking encouragement and then rejecting it? Am I asking for help and then sabotaging it? There's a lot involved in changing one's habit energy. And in the Buddhist practice, it requires a soft, firm approach, defining our intention, employing our own wisdom and understanding, determining our own actions and aligning with what we value. And it often begins in the narratives of our thoughts and stories. So this is an invitation to bring peace and kindness to the voice within. May peace be with me as I continue this journey of change. And we'll end our practice with a dedication of merit. I invite you to come back into a posture that is noble. So the noble posture is where you're sitting. You can also be lying down, but you want to be in a way where the shoulders are rolled back slightly so that the heart can come forward and is slightly elevated. It is a posture of strength, and it's also a posture of vulnerability. This is called the sacred paradox, and it is a posture of deep presence. There was great virtue enacted here this evening by so many people attending this practice. There were 52 people online today. Thank you so much for prioritizing yourselves to join us from all over the United States and the world. There are a dozen people or so here in Soul Center. Thank you so much for prioritizing yourselves, for making the effort to get here, to find parking, to sit down, make a cup of tea. It's just so wonderful. And the impression you leave in this space, including our friends who wag, and many of you might have friends at home who purr, and maybe squawk or hiss or chirp. All the friends that participate in this meeting add so much brightness and brilliance to this space. Thank you so much for being here. This level of presence changes the mind and the heart. And this slow, sustained, transformative change is not just for ourselves. We have kind of a sacred obligation to bring it out into the world. We don't have to do anything big. It could be as simple as the way you stand in line at the grocery store, or in the line at a coffee stand, or while you're waiting on the phone on hold. The enactment of this kind of gentility and kindness, the patience that we learn here that we can bring into the world, is what it's all about. Just look around for a moment and you notice and see the undeniable suffering everywhere. Your presence, your smile, your eye, your gentle touch can change everything. I want to thank you for bringing that spirit into this space. It changes me. It inspires me. I am so grateful and humble. We'll see you next time, friends. Namaste.